Hi everybody. I want to talk about this square that we have from Uranus to Pluto, and it's still going on for about another 4, maybe even 5 years to go. So what does this mean? What does it mean globally? What does it mean for you in your life? We recently had an exact square in September. We've got another 5 exact squares to come between now and 2015. Uranus is all about looking forwards, propelling forwards the new, getting into new things, being innovative, being creative. It's very disruptive, but at the same time it can be very, very exciting. Pluto, on the other hand, in Capricorn, is very much the sign of looking backwards. Aries looks forwards, Capricorn looks backwards. You know, what have we done? Where have we been? And doesn't start to move forwards unless it's really, really sure. So Pluto in Capricorn, in a sense, is wanting to keep the status quo. Uranus in Aries is wanting to go off into new horizons, into space. As you can see, space travel is going to be something of the future, and maybe not as far off as we might think. So we've got these two conflicting energies. They're both cardinal energies, Aries and Capricorn. And they're in a square aspect. A square aspect always causes tension. Tension is not a bad thing. People with a lot of squares in their charts usually accomplish a lot because they're driven to do things. They can't just somehow sit still and relax and enjoy as people can who've got lots and lots of trines and sextiles in their charts. People with squares and oppositions do things. So this square between Pluto and Uranus is about doing things, is about trying to move forward with the Aries energy, but at the same time being structured and consolidating where you are with the Capricorn energy. So these are the vibrations we're dealing with. I think we're going to see lots of unusual weather patterns, more and more of them. Of course, we're seeing that. I'm here in Granada, Spain right now, and we've had tremendous flooding in southern Spain, as well as some fatalities over the last few days. And these are unusual weather events. Whilst I've been travelling for the last few months, I've noticed the weather change by maybe 20 degrees Fahrenheit in just a matter of a few hours in a place where normally this would be unheard of. So I think we're going to see more sudden changes, not only in the weather, but also in ourselves, in our emotions, how we feel about something. You may be somebody who's used to be very decisive, but you may find yourself changing your mind a lot because suddenly some other piece of information comes in and you now have a different picture and you want to move differently. So the last time we had a conjunction of these two signs was in the 60s, the 1965-66, when we had the flower power, the hippies, the Vietnam War. It was a time of huge change. This only went on for a couple of years. Now we have a square, which is very similar to what happened in 1933 during the Great Depression, where many people lost everything, where there were huge changes and really an economic financial meltdown. This time, instead of a 2-year period, it's a 4-year period. So it's a whole lot more intense right now. Who is it going to affect? Especially the cardinal signs. Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn. Now, is that all? No, not all. If you don't know your astrology chart, go to my website, get the free, put in your date, time and place of birth, and it'll bring up a free chart for you. And it'll show you the placements of your sun, your moon, your ascendant, and all the planets. And look which ones are in a cardinal sign. These are the ones that are going to be triggered. So what does it mean if it's, let's say, transiting your sun? Let's say one of these planets is on your sun, as it is with me. So the Pluto is on my Capricorn sun. Boy, is this causing huge transformation. I've been very stuck. I haven't wanted to move forward. I've been in a terrible rut. And that Uranus in Aries has pushed me forward to new horizons, out of my comfort zone, into all of this travelling. And whilst it's been frightening, Pluto in Capricorn, not wanting to let go of control, it's also been hugely liberating, Uranus in Aries, and freeing. I've met so many wonderful people, and I've been to so many wonderful places that I would never dared to have gone to. So, as well, let's say it's your moon that's being affected. So you've got a moon in a cardinal sign. Well, this is going to be all about your security. You may find that you move home, or you have to move more than once. There may be issues with family coming up, your belongings. You may lose your job and have to find another one in another location. So it's going to shake up your security. What if it's your ascendant? Well, with your ascendant, it's going to change everything connected with your relationships, how you see yourself, how you present yourself to the world. All this is going to be up for changes. What if it's Mercury that's being activated? You may find yourself needing to learn a whole new skill, maybe a whole new career. Maybe you've been involved in banking for years and years, or insurance. Maybe now you want to become a doctor, or go in the medical field, or maybe become a homeopath, or a chiropractor, or a pianist. But it's an opportunity to change your skill set. You may be triggered to do that. Your communicating pattern may change. You may be somebody who is always shy of speaking up. If it's Uranus triggering that Mercury, you'll suddenly be speaking out. You're going to get so frustrated that things are going to come out whether you like it or not. And you're not going to be so worried about offending people. Let's say it's Venus that's being affected. Well, Venus is going to affect your relationships. So you may find out that somebody's betrayed you, and you may need to end this relationship. Maybe you've not wanted to face it before, but there's a rude awakening so that you can end a relationship that really wasn't fulfilling you and go into something, eventually, once you recover, that's much more nurturing, and you can change some destructive behaviour patterns. Maybe it's your finances. Maybe you'll suffer a loss in some way financially to awaken you as to what you need to change. Maybe you're not valuing your services enough. Maybe you're not charging enough for your services, and that needs to be woken up. Maybe it's Mars that's getting activated. Well, this is going to be looking at your actions, the consequences of your actions. Maybe you've always wanted to start your own business up, but you haven't had the courage to do it. Maybe this Uranus, if it's transiting your Mars, may force you out of where you are. You maybe can't find another job, and you have to start up something of your own, or come up with something creative and be bold. So there's going to be, if it's Jupiter, your beliefs are going to get shaken up. If it's Saturn, you've got some serious life lessons to learn, and it depends where in your chart that it's falling as to where these lessons are going to be happening on the most powerful level. And I guess what you need to be looking for during this time is whenever you start to feel that feeling of restlessness, as though you want change, know that it's Uranus shaking you up. Time for the new. Pluto in Capricorn is where there's maybe somebody controlling you, holding you back. That's going to be this feeling of this energy where you feel held back, and with Uranus propelling you forward. And it's trying to find the balance between those two energies that will be the greatest challenge at this time. So you might want to have a reading or ask a question about how this Pluto-Uranus square is going to affect you, and how you can best prepare, as much as one can prepare, when Uranus is at play. So, I thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you, however it comes, whether it's just commenting on the videos, signing up for the free newsletter, or getting in touch. Bye for now.